thing to this hobby, dude.
I can't do that. How's everybody doing? I'm sure my mic is on now because we fixed it earlier. James Lucas says Wolverines. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. You know, yeah. Let's just fucking right off the bat. Here we go.
Wolverines! Wolverines. Hell yeah.
Wolverines. Hell yeah. Hal Jordan, look at this. I'm back, baby. YouTube killed the old Hal Jordan because of my profile pictures. With the best profile pictures on YouTube. Fucking killjoys. But I've been resurrected. You can't keep a Wolverine and a Chad Hole down. That is, well, one, that's accurate. Two, I'm glad you're back, my dude. It's good to see you. Today we're going to, I don't want to say pivot, but we're going to talk about Canon films. Not just about the Canon films, but we're going to talk about custom action figures that were created by some of arguably the best O-ring action figure makers, painters, designers, sculptors, all that stuff out there. And that's Bobby Vance and Matt LECROY. And, you know, to honor that, I wore my Support Independent Toy Maker shirt because I believe that fans do the best work. And Canon films, this was kind of the time when, you know, the term toxic masculinity didn't exist. There was no such thing as toxic masculinity. It was just men were men, right? We were chivalrous and we held doors for people and we weren't looked down like scumbags for doing it. We were allowed to be fucking men. And the Canon films, they were just a product of that kind of mentality. They were a product of that time. And the two guys who ran Canon films, they were really smart about how they came out with movies. They said every dollar needed to be on film. They didn't have like all these big, you know, what were called hospitality writers. They didn't have like all the food spreads and all that stuff. They just filmed movies, real pyrotechnics, real physical effects. And a lot of these characters, we've carried them from our childhoods into our adult lives. And as we were talking about Chuck Norris, was that like a month ago? When Chuck Norris died, we were talking about the impact that he had on all of us growing up. A lot of that is because of Canon films. He was one of the first actors to get a multi-picture deal with Canon. And Chuck Norris really helped keep Canon films afloat so they could go on and do other projects, which we're going to get into some of that, especially when we talk about Cobra, Sylvester Stallone's Cobra, and how that fits in with greater movie-going lore. So Jeff Morris says, I still love Bloodsport. I just watched Bloodsport the other day. Yep. I forgot that it had fucking Ogre from Revenge of the Nerds in it. And I was like, how did I forget that? He's so prominent in the movie, but I guess it had been a while since I watched Bloodsport. So I kind of boned up on that. I watch Revenge of the Ninja, you know, Shokasugi. I watch that pretty regularly. So, you know, they're freaking awesome films, you know, when men were men and action stars were action stars for a reason. Stillwind, what is up? Happy Sunday. And Jedi Ben says, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, in the chat, our good friend and Chad Hole, son of GTO, brings you this public service announcement. You can blame him.
Just checking in. Have you drank water today? Did you eat? Did you take your meds?
Yeah. No flag points. Channel member says, when men were definitely men, and also Peter Cetera. Yeah, Peter Cetera. We're not playing that clip. We can't. We can play that on the member streams, but not on a public stream because they will shut my shit down. Bobby Vance is here and says, oh, shucks. Bobby Vance and Matt LeCroy are also responsible for 118 O-Ring Balaverse Action Force. Waiting to see them happen. Mother Slug says, something's different in your room. New lights? No, it's not new lights. What's wrong with my room? What are you talking about, Willis? The only thing that's different is I put this Batmobile right there. That's it. You can see the box Batmobile sitting there. That's it. Nothing else is different. Michael Zimmerman says, before the dark times when there were only two genders. Well, there's still two genders. There's only two genders and a lot of mental illness. So it is what it is, right? Even though we're going to talk about Canon films and action figures based on Canon films characters, we're still going to fucking keep it real, right? We got to do that. So, yeah. CC Murphy, what is up, my dude? Says, hey, Chad, hope all is well your way. It is, my friend. I'm glad you're good as well. And CC Murphy also got new ink done, as did Daredevil Dave. A lot of us are getting new tattoos. That's the way to do it. Kenzo says, best use of AI when Chuck Norris is kicking everyone. Those clips are freaking awesome, man. It's so much fun just to watch those. Tristan says, Cobra was my favorite Sylvester Stallone movie when I was a kid. Yeah, pig. The guy just says pig the whole movie. That movie's dark, right? It is dark. Secret Society and the Zombie Squad and all that stuff. JF Tremblay says, Kumite, I'll tell you what, if you guys want to play a drinking game that you will definitely lose, take a drink every time they say Kumite in Bloodsport. You'll probably die of alcohol poisoning in the first half hour. Browncoat says, I feel like Stallone's Cobra is an underrated one of his movies, and I really love it. Seen it multiple times. I love Cobra. Life Force. Life Force is one of the films that bankrupted Canon. Life Force, Superman 4, Masters of the Universe, they extended themselves too far in too many different directions. And, when they were making movies like Cyborg using sets that were supposed to be for like Masters of the Universe 2 and things like that, they only made it on like $500,000 because they already had a lot of assets in place and it made a lot of money. Same with Bloodsport. Bloodsport made a lot of money. Cobra, things like that. They were making movies on $1 million, $2 million budgets and, getting like 300% returns. It was ridiculous, the stuff that they were doing back then. Mother Slug says, Chuck Norris didn't die, Chad. Yeah, he did. He just got bored of this planet and is now fighting in a higher dimension. Yeah. Crystal Clear says, my eyes. I still need to get that clip from SpongeBob SquarePants, the fish where his eyes are smoking. Yeah. James Lucas says, I still say that's an alien chick. Well, it's a dude. So, to quote the Jake from State Farm commercial, well, she's a guy, so. Mm-hmm. Joel says, I did hit my wall. I'm not going to read that. I'm not going to read it. I'll just put it up on the screen. People can read it. Tristan says, fun fact, Cobra was, hey, shh, no. Don't make the mistake to think that one, I don't know that, and two, I wasn't going to talk about it. Don't jump the gun. Don't fucking do it. 2 scoops, 2 genders. That's right. 2 scoops of raisins in your raisin bran. There's only 2 motherfucking genders. My zombie finger is dead. Channel member for 21 months uses his made-up screen name, Chad Chat, trademark This Face 2024, and says Bloodsport is watched weekly at my house. To honor Masatoshi. Yep. Next up, matching wiener tattoos. Yeah, I'll give you this.
Straight up, real player shit. You know what I'm saying? It's
still a no, though, but I'll give you that. That's homeboys. That's for homeboy. We gotta raise a glass for him. Yo Joe Jerk, what is up, dude? It's good to see you. Channel member for 23 months, uses his Chad Chat trademark this face. What an awesome guy. And says, what's up, Chad Holes? What's up, my brother? You know what? Look, I got this for you. Hold on. Ready? You just wait. I gotta get it. And since I gotta get it, I'm gonna do this while we wait. Hi. Does that look familiar? Oh, look at. That's from you. Yeah. Put it right there. It's always with me. It's always in the room. It's good to see you, my friend. Dreadnought K6 says Cobra is a great action flick. Yeah, it absolutely is. Mother Slug says something's totally different because I can see the reflection 100% off of your military outfit. My ASUs. Yeah, I can see it too. You know what it probably is? Watch this. Thank you. Friggin' dimmer switch. See, my kid was in here fucking around. She rat fucked my dimmer switch. Son of GTO says, I wanted to build the Mercury from Cobra. It's a 49 Mercury, right? I believe it's a 49 Mercury. Crystal clear, we need a 1/18 scale Rambo, 1/18 scale Dutch fighting a 1/18 scale Xenomorph. So it would be like the game Contra? Is that where we're going with that? Contra? Movies version of repaints. What are we talking about? Repaints. Oh, Hal Jordan's here. I'm here. I know you're here. I read your damn comment. Raymond Sheffield says, to the water meds people, you're the disease and I'm the cure. That's a quote from Marion Cobretti. Correct. Tom Miller, what's up, man? Says, hey, brother. Hey, all. Hope everyone is doing well. Doing great, my friend. Hanging out with my my favorite people on today, the Lord Scale Day, and my grenade mug. So, yeah, we're having a good time. Joel says, gay. I don't have that. I'm sorry. Death Wish 3. Yeah, Charles Bronson. He was also very important to Canon films. 100%. CC Murphy says, it's that tats on the wiener or tats of wiener. No, there's no penile tattooing at all. 100%. Cobra's awesome 50 is, oh, so it's a 1950 Mercury. I thought it was a 49. Whatever. Tristan says, speaking of awesome martial arts flicks, and this is a hot take, I prefer Kickboxer 2 over the first one. That's okay. Of all these Sho Kosugi ninja movies, I like Revenge of the Ninja the best. To include his non-canon films ninja movie, which is Pray for Death, and that was Trans World Entertainment. That was not canon. But he did the Ninja trilogy, Enter the Ninja, Revenge of the Ninja, and Ninja 3, The Domination, with Lucinda. I'm going to look at my notes. Lucinda Dickey from Breakin' and Breakin' 2, Electric Boogaloo. She's pretty hot. She's a member of the Itty Bitty Titty Committee, but she's pretty hot. We got to keep it real around here, kids. That's all it is. Yeah. Super Alleluia. Thank you for the $10 super chat, my man. I greatly appreciate it. It says, here to spread the Chad energy. Got to giga chat it up. And the whiskey, because it's my birthday, I'm not drunk. Everybody, please wish Super Alleluia a happy birthday. And this is for you, my dude, on a very merry birthday. I'm going to be nice. Here it is.
Wolverines! Wolverines! Hell yeah!
Yeah. There it is. 100%. Hendo, what's up, man? It's good to see you, dude. good to see you again. Super hallelujah. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Happy birthday. I hope everyone sends you some birthday love today. And I hope you're doing whatever you want to do. It's your birthday. You do what you want to do. Mother Slug says, see, I knew something was off. I'm not crazy. You're not crazy, but you guys pay a lot more attention than I do. This looks better, right? This is better. We're good. Hey, in the member stream, my microphone wasn't working for like the first 2 minutes because it was trying to pick up my Joe Room settings. I don't know. I don't know what's up. No idea. Crusty Old Crow, what's up, man? Says, I'm here to see if somebody woke up Hicks. Yeah. That's because Hicks is he's a seasoned colonial Marine. Lots of combat drops. How many combat drops? Including this one? Scorched Earth videos. Watched Cobra with my dad. We were sad when they trashed the Mercury. Yeah, right? Beating up beautiful cars. Blake Tarpley, what is up, my man? Says, sup, Chad? Can't forget about Runaway Train. While not a typical action or macho film, one of the best Canon films starring John Voight, Eric Roberts, Rebecca De Mornay. Correct. That is correct. I don't have action figures. So, right? You kind of have to have the film and the figures, and we're doing that. So, yeah. Not every Canon film is going to be represented here. There is no naked, what's her name? You know what I'm saying? From Life Force, but yeah. 100%. You guys should probably watch Old Boy. I don't understand. Why? The remake or the original? And why? Yeah. The Korean version or the Americanized version? Exactly. 100%. Yeah, everybody's saying happy birthday. That's what I like to see. Hell yeah. Cooter, what's up, man? I'll give you that right back. Good to see you, my man. My zombie finger is, I can't say Chad zombie finger. Funny story, our company RO got $100 tattoo on his member. Got caught during a piss test, scored second biggest safety stand down we had. That's messed up. Oh, it is what it is. Just trying to get through the chat here real quick. Kenzo, my good man, thank you for the $5 super chat, my dude. Says, don't forget, you have a bat wing somewhere in Colorado. I have not forgotten. I hope you're enjoying it. Totally cool. Cooter's just saying hi to everybody. That's what we like to see. It's very good. Hendo says, Hicks is what we like to call salty as fuck in the Marine Corps. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Even though he's a corporal, he's like the OG. 100%. Even more so than Sergeant Apom. Yeah, Hicks is the man. He's a doer. Corporals are the bulldogs, always. When I was a corporal, it was like, I had an E7, and that's what he told me all the time. He's like, I expect you to be the bulldog. You don't have to be the nice one like the E5s and the E6s. Like, you're supposed to be the bulldog, like get in everyone's face. And I did. And then by the time I was an E7, I was like, I got E5s and E6s to yell at you. I'm not going to yell at you. So that's how it was. Mother Slave says, fun fact, Runaway Train is based off a true story that happened in the early 70s. Interesting. Did not know that. Action Joe Figs, what's up, man? Good to see you. Thanks for being here with everybody. We're hanging out. We're probably not going to get like too salty today, but we're going to talk about good old-fashioned toxic masculinity because the world needs more toxic masculinity, and we're going to celebrate it along with awesome custom toys by two of the best O-ring action figure makers in the fucking world. We'll tie it all together. It's cool. Son of GTO says, I love my Batwing. I love it. Flint is piloting it. Flint. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. Super Hallelujah says, I always have ceviche on my birthday. April is the best month. Lols. That's cool. Glad to hear it. Crusty Old Crow says, we had career corporals. No progression, maxed out, mid-management potential. vital to the day-to-day. Yeah, absolutely. Non-commissioned officers are the backbone of any military, especially the U.S. Army, but I know you're Canadian, Crow, but that's cool. My zombie finger says, I got out as a corporal. Fuck yeah. Corporals are the way to go. Toy Odyssey, what's up? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. I'll give you one of those back just for you. Michael Biehn was set to be the action star he was. Too bad he was such a douche in real life and it fell apart. But he got burned on a lot of shit too. Yeah, he was set to be the action star, but he got burned. In the lower budget shit, like people loved him. But once he got to like the more corporate Hollywood, they kind of fucked him over a bunch. House Hendo says, I'm a corporal of Marines myself. Don't have to be a dick, but let them know you have the stick. That is true. Yep. If you have to say you're in charge, you're probably not in charge. Yep. Action Joe Figs, Chad, DFW is coming up pretty quick. I can't wait to hang out with everybody. Absolutely. Looking forward to DFW G.I. Joe show this year. I'm not going to spill the beans on it, but Cotswold Collectibles, a.k.a. Greg Brown, who's the man, who is vastly important to the DFW G.I. Joe show, he's going to be making some crazy freaking announcements. Crazy announcements that have to do with a certain large-scale toy line. So wait for that. Yeah. The Titan says, toxic masculinity is like my bat signal. Let's fucking go. We're going. And yes, it should be 100%. Fluffy Cajun, first Canon films I ever saw was Adventures of Hercules. You know, it's in the little stinger that I have once we actually get into it. I'm trying to stay up with the chat today. I'm doing my best. Son of GTO says Flint is piloting the Batwing until Ace or Slipstream gets here. If I'm not doing a sky is falling thing. And yes, at some point at the end of the stream, we will talk about that elephant in the room with Hasbro and G.I. Joe very briefly. So Navy had E8 first classes, I think. I have no idea. All I know is that like a Navy captain is like an Army colonel. That's all I do know. So if I heard correctly, says Crystal Clear, Stan Bush's The Touch was originally intended for Stallone's Cobra. I was not tracking that. You're talking about from the 86, almost said 87, from the 86 animated Transformers movie? Maybe somebody can either confirm or deny that. I don't know. Hal Jordan says, I'm only a corporal when I watch the MASH TV show. Do you cross-dress? Is that what you're talking about? Are you clinger? Fucking weirdo. Oh, shit.
Chad, how insensitive.
Sometimes they're not playing today. It ruined the moment. I'm still going to play it.
Chad, how insensitive of you.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Justin Booth is here. Good to see you, Justin. Thank you for being here, my friend. Yep. And Jeffy put the link to Cotswold Collectibles in the chat. If you want high up modern construction G.I. Joes and you're willing to wait possibly a year to 2 years, if it ever shows up, you can get them from there. And that's totally not on Cotswold or anybody else who sells them, because that's how Hasbro did their deal. Shockwave, what's up, man? Good to see you. Is this awkward enough to give you an answer? Oh, here we go. Watch. I'll do this. This is some good tea. I'm going to leave it at that. That would be the murder dog.
No. Ow. Get him.
Ow. What did
Get him. Get him.
There's the man and the murder. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it, murder dog. Anywho, what are you doing? You're going to go work out? Okay. Well, here, hold on. Let me get your dog's slobber off my face. Give me. Bye. You guys know who that was? Yeah. I always thought Michael Biehn would have made an awesome 616 Nick Fury. Yeah. Look, I don't think the Hoff was bad as Nick Fury. It's just what he was in as Nick Fury. Does that make sense? Maybe. I don't know. Whatever. It is what it is. Yeah. Isn't someone picking up V, the Final Battle 118 scale figures? That is Ace and Ramen Toy. Ace is doing V in 118 scale. Mm-hmm. Oh, there it is. Either way, that's what we're all here for, right? We just share knowledge. It's all good. I was a questionable corporal in the Marines. Never knew if I was a bulldog or a counselor, just depending on the junior's level of stupidity. Well, yeah, I mean, individual results may vary, right? So 100%. Okay, we're scrolling. I thought the touch was for Over the Top, says Hunter Prime. Oh, well, that's also a Canon Stallone film, which made a shitload of money, by the way. Son of GTO says, I can't wait for DFW. Got my tickets paid and going to Mikey's panel. Very cool. Glad to hear it. Axe and Joe Figs. I buy a ton of 12-inch Joes from Greg. Hey, look, there's 3 right there. I got another one sitting over here. There you go. Jeffy says, Greg has a lot of modern The Core figures too. Yep. Sure does. I'll just leave it at that. Fluffy Cajun. Hi, ma'am, and Murder Dog. Look, that dog, she is different. Get him. Points to partner. Sure, Jeff, just come on over, even if my own dog will murder me. Yeah. Yeah, she did. They both escaped. They escaped today. They went to the dog park. Callie was let into the dog park. Odie left. We went and picked up Callie. Went to bring Callie home, and Odie was in the front yard. I thought that was a werewolf growling. Yeah, and that's just her talking. That's when she's talking to you. So they should bring back Baywatch Nights with the Hoff. Oh God, 610. What's up, dude? Good to see you, my man. I cannot smash the like button myself. I think that would be weird anyway. That's like an ethical thing, but everybody do 610 a favor and do what he asked you to do. I'm not even going to say it. So, Frank Castiglione. Am I the only one that pronounces that correctly? I wish they do Adventure Team in Classified. Yeah. Sure. I mean, because the figure subscription service did them in 4-inch. I don't have all of them, but I have a lot of them. So yeah. Hi, Odie. What are you doing? Okay, fuck you too then. She just left. Tristan says Michael Biehn was Solid Snake on the OG Metal Gear box art. Oh, watch out, Kelly. Almost rolled over my dog. Yep. Sure enough. Look at that. That is the OG cart right there, baby. Yes. The package art for Solid Snake for Metal Gear was based off of Michael Biehn. That is 100% correct. From his future flashback dream. That's what it was, which is weird to have to say it like that. From the first Terminator. Yes, correct. However, pause for dramatic effect. Hideo Kojima has said that his vision of Solid Snake is Jean-Claude Van Damme's build. So Bloodsport, right? We're going to get to that with the face of a 30-something Christopher Walken. That's how Hideo Kojima envisioned Solid Snake, aka David. And is only named David because of David Hayter. 100%. Candyman 5000, what's up? Good to see you. Thank you for being here on this fantastic Lord Scale Day. Hot Rod, what is up? Thank you for being here as well. Frank Castiglione says, bro, I would buy the hell out of TV show figures if Ramen or someone else did them. Well, stand by because that's happening. 100%. It sucks when people got to like toot their own horn or whatever, but sweet. Yeah. I mean, I'm a wop. Thank you. I appreciate that. I saw that fucking kit during San Diego Comic-Con last year when we were hanging out with Ace. But, if you can keep secrets, it's cool. You'll get to see some shit. Of course, I did show a conversation about the next HasLab in my members stream. I did show that conversation. Yeah, 100%. Blow it. Blow what? Oh, the cart? Yeah, I did. I blew on it. Son of GTO says, I got Crazy Legs, Zap, and the female Crimson Guard today. Right on. Very cool. That is cool. Menjoza, what is up? Good to see you. Big Boss was based off of Sean Connery. I was not tracking that, but I will believe you. How about that? I'll just believe you. 100%. Well. The guy on the couch. I used a Michael Biehn NECA alien head and a G.I. Joe classified SEAL body. I made my Navy SEAL Biehn. Oh, awesome. Head is a tad big on the body, but it works. You can always use just a thought. There are very many ways. There's very rarely the ways. Some people use Teflon tape if the peg's too small, or you can put Vaseline on the ball of the neck peg, and then you can take hot glue, put it down into the recess in the head, and then just kind of work it around, and it'll mold itself just fine. There's lots of ways, but not saying you don't know. Not saying, just saying. TJC, what is up, my man? Good to see you from across the pond. Wouldn't the next Joe HasLab be a Cobra themed one? Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. I'm sure if you took 3 seconds to think about it, you know what it is. Oh, Jay Carter says, punch and pie. I'm late again. There you go. Punch and pie. Good to see you. Tristan says, yeah, his likeness on the codec screen in Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake. Oh, okay. Personally, I think you're a fucking idiot. I wonder if he says that. Your best. Losers always whine about their best. Action Joe Figs. I used an O-ring on my 3D printer, flocked Joe heads to keep them in place on my 6-inch figures. Nice. Check that out. Very cool. I made a I don't know who's seen all of my customs and who hasn't. But before I was the guy yelling in my car, I was well known for a lot of customs. And I made all of the Foxhound team except for Vulcan Raven, because I didn't have a big enough 4-inch buck for Vulcan Raven, which there were times I was like, oh, I could use a 5-inch figure, I could use a 6-inch figure, and then it just kind of went on the back burner. But I took a G.I. Joe Resolute Cobra Trooper, and I took one of the Pursuit of Cobra Duke heads that had the bandana on. So I took that head, took that body, I painted the body and washed it and dry brushed it and all that stuff. And that's how I made my Solid Snake. So, it is what it is. Psycho Mantis is he's really easy to make. You just take a G.I. Joe Ryza Cobra, the weird quasi body armor Duke body, just put bare arms on him and a gas mask face, and boop, there you go, 100%. Wait, that was you yelling in your car? Yeah, that was me yelling at you, 100%. Was I screaming at you like we were in a Modern Warfare 2 lobby? That was probably me. That's how I roll, 100%. Backwoods, I believe the next HasLab will be the... Okay, look, I'm just going to leave this on the screen. If you're a channel member, you saw the conversation. So, but at the same time, I try to not talk about this stuff anymore because really it just gets me a bunch of flack. And then when you make a video about the next HasLab and the blacked out vehicle in the thumbnail is the fucking snowcat. But again, it is what it is. We're just going to leave that. We're going to leave that alone. 100%. But yeah, here you go. Kenzo says, headed out in the middle of season 2 of Invincible with the kiddo. Have a great rest of the stream. Good to see you, brother. Thank you for popping in. Jim Smith. I use Viagra to make my Solid Snake. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. I will allow it. Jedi Ben says they just jealous that you got the ins. Whatever. It's all good. It's the same thing as, well, you don't collect the line. And I'm like, I don't? Okay, whatever. It was obvious what this year's HasLab would be when last year's was one of the two that was going to be a mainline release. Critical thinking. Look at that, right? The Snowcat, the Thunder Machine, they were supposed to be that new $150 to $200 price point umbrella. Snowcat got put in the mix as soon as it did. Me and another guy were like, yeah, see what you did there. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it'll have lights and all that cool stuff and the remaining dreadnoughts, and then they'll move on to October Guard. And when you see an October Guard in classified, remember this fucking face. There's a reason why Zanya has the same hat that Dinah and Horror Show wear, but it is what we're not here to talk about that. We're not here to talk about that. Let's move on. Tristan says, fun fact, in the Australian Army, Foxhound is code for infantry over comms. So I was Foxhound for over 2 years. Yes. That's awesome. Very cool. Frank says, I got the Dragonfly just for the October Guard. That's cool, man. That's really cool. I dig it. All right. Clint, is it Jorgensen? I'm going to say Jorgensen. Chad, when you apply for the open job at Hasbro, no, dude, never. Let us know. One of us can be a reference for you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much. No. Hasbro's like, they're like Toys R Us was. If you're a fan of an IP or a line, they don't want you anywhere near it. Which, you know, it's kind of telling about people who have worked on G.I. Joe. Yeah, it's been away with them for a while. When Vallo worked on G.I. Joe, when Daryl DePriest worked on G.I. Joe, they would push back on a lot of stuff because they were more fans than they were company men. Oh, speaking of Hasbro, keep it down, kids. Lord of Brooklyn's here from Hasbro headquarters, keeping tabs on all of us. Terry, my family and I are doing great. Thank you, my friend. I hope yours are doing well as well. I hope everyone's family's great. Mother Slug says, ew, Hasbro classified. I wouldn't want to work with a group of assholes. I knew a dude who was working on classified. He was part of the team for the Hiss. He was part of the team for the Dragonfly. He worked on a lot of other stuff. Back during the time when Emily was doing all of her, self-proclaimed pride warrior, give your pronouns shit, they were doing a Microsoft Teams meeting. I'm not going to name names. And the person who usually runs the brand Teams meeting, who usually runs the Teams meeting for all of the brand teams, either way, you know what I'm saying, wasn't there. So Emily, being marketing, ran the Teams meeting. She started in on the pronoun stuff, and he said, my pronouns are fuck you. Oh, he went to work on My Little Pony after that. Yep. But that was the second time she got in trouble for doing the pronouns thing. Like, cannot fucking help herself. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special request from the chat.
Ay, mira, mira, mira.
Is it playing? Because I don't see it on my screen. I just see black. Fuck.
Ay, mira, 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 mira.
Yep. Son of GTO says, it would be cool if you did get a call and went to straight it out. Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me? Yeah. Oh, so it was playing, even when I see black. Y'all have pronouns? No, I don't. I have a civilian first name and I have a military first name. So I have never been less erect. Yeah, you. Yeah, me what? Phone call what? From who? Who's going to give me a phone call? Nobody, because my phone's on fucking silent. Yeah. Yeah, crystal clear. Those would have been my exact words to her. Well, it is what it is. Yeah. Okay. So let's get into some figures, shall we? Let me add this shit because I was a little bit behind today while I was doing the stuff with the things and the chat holes and the If you're triggered by a waving American flag as my background, you can fucking see yourself out. That's all I'm going to say. Because we're keeping this shit. Oh, if I got a phone call from Hasbro and fix it the right way. Look, I have at least 20 2-minute elevator pitch $1 million ideas for them. I'm sure a lot of you do, but requires work and all that stuff. And yeah. Chuck fucking Norris. Yes. So, okay, we're going to get into Canon Films toxic male action stars. There is one female in here. There's one female in here. She's a fucking badass. We'll get to that later. And then we're going to talk about custom action figures made from these very awesome male role model action stars from our childhoods when men were still fucking men, right? This is 1984's Missing in Action. This was Chuck Norris's first movie with Canon Films. After this movie was when he signed on. Shh, don't give it away. The answer is no. It's not Cynthia Rothrock. After this film, he signed on with the multi-picture deal with Canon. Him and Charles Bronson. So this is Colonel James Braddock from Missing in Action. If you haven't seen this movie in a while, I would say rewatch it. I'm a bigger fan of Missing in Action 2 than I am the first Missing in Action, but this one kind of sets everything up. This is probably one of the most capable colonels in all of fictional U.S. military, aside from Colonel Flagg and, Hawk. So, yeah, Colonel James Braddock. Look at that figure. So this is by the always awesome, ever capable, fucking grandmaster Matt LeCroy, right there. So I'll zoom in on him just a little bit. Can I zoom in? Yeah, there we go. But yeah, this is the Colonel James Braddock action figure by LeCroy's Toys. Thank you, Jeffy. We'll be putting the links in the chat, and also for everybody, they are in the description below. So Lone Wolf Toys, Bobby Vance, LeCroy's Toys, Matt LeCroy. They work on a lot of stuff together. All their links are in the description below. Yeah, this is a freaking awesome figure, right? They don't necessarily do all of the sculpt work. I know that Matt does a lot of sculpting, Bobby does a lot of sculpting, but they get heads from other people at times. So it just sort of depends. But every figure that I'm going to show is from Lone Wolf Toys, Bobby Vance, and Matt LeCroy from LeCroy's Toys. Braddock doesn't step on toes, he steps on necks. Rest in peace, Chuck Norris. Yep. Yeah, but that's kind of the feel, right? If you're going for a mid-'80s real American hero feel, don't you want an oversized weapon? That was by choice. So yeah. And yeah, so we'll move on. Here's another one. I really like this shot because this has the M60, aka the Pig, the original Pig before the M240. If you've ever fired an M60, you realize what your back teeth feel like, because the Pig will shake the fucking teeth in the back of your head. Hal Jordan says, my weapon isn't oversized, but I was in the pool.
What the hell is even that?
Shrinkage. I get it. I get what you're saying. Yeah. But yeah, this figure is freaking awesome. The background's fantastic, all of it. But yep. HollowNet says, I need to do a kit bash customs of these 80s action heroes and turn them into a new Joe squad. Hell yeah. A couple of years ago, probably 3 or 4 years ago, Mikey Kukovic made me the entire team of the Losers, Cougar and all of them. And yeah, so the Losers is one of my G.I. Joe sub teams, and they're freaking awesome. HollowNet's asking, the M60 came before the M240? Yes, correct. Yep. When I went to basic training in 1993, I qualified on the M60. We did not get fielded the M240, which we're up to the Lima now anyway. There's lots of different versions of the M240. The ones that you see inside vehicles where they don't have a buttstock and they actually have a cord. Those are generally the Charlie versions, but yeah, you know, even though I wasn't an MP, so I get it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Oh, everybody's making frickin' weapon-sized jokes now. I see what you're doing, frickin' jerks. Batstan says the Canon Commandos. That sounds awesome, doesn't it? That's a good name for a G.I. Joe squad of Canon characters. The Canon Commandos. Yeah. I mean, Sergeant Savage has Screaming Eagles, right? Sure. There should have been a second Losers movie. I agree. Yep. I agree 100%. I love the Losers. But, you know, I like the actors. That's when Chris Evans was freaking awesome. Jeffrey Dean Morgan, all of them. It was a freaking awesome movie. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about Colonel James Braddock from 1984's Missing in Action, as designed by Matt LeCroy of LeCroy's Toys with his M60 Pig. And then Invasion USA. So I rewatched this movie probably a month ago. The interesting thing is on the poster on the one sheet, he's sleeveless, but he is never sleeveless in the movie. But it is cool how he has, it shows Uzis here, but they're actually MAC-10s, right? Where they're kind of hooked up on his little shoulder holster get up. This movie was filmed where I used to live in Florida. Some of it was filmed in Fort Pierce, but all the beach scenes were filmed in Vero Beach, Florida, because Vero Beach is a very nice beach right there on the Gold Coast. Treasure Coast? Gold Coast. Treasure Coast, as you were. Sorry, Treasure Coast. Uzi 9mm. No, Mac 10s. So the poster shows him shirtless with 9mm Uzis, yes. Hey, just what you see, pal, okay? I know what you're getting at. However, in the film, he is never sleeveless, and he has Mac 10s. Thomas Miller, Invasion USA is my all-time favorite Norris movie. That movie, when you watch it now, there's a lot of weight to that film. It's a freaking awesome movie. 49er Brian, I think I'll have LECROYS do a Delta Force figure for me. Well, stand by a couple of minutes and take a look, my dude. So, oh, look, Jeff already put it in there. But yeah, we're going to show it. Hendo says, all right, fellas, just sat down with the family at Hibachi for my daughter's 19th. Happy 19th birthday to your daughter. My daughter is also 19. It's a great age to watch them grow into adulthood. Thank you for being here, my friend, and tell your daughter I said happy birthday. Holland, I barely remember Norris's movies. I definitely need to rewatch them. Most of them are free on Amazon. Most of the Canon films you can watch for free on Amazon. The Shokasugi Ninja movies are all free on Amazon. This is free on Amazon because I just went and double checked. But again, I did watch this not that long ago. Cobra is not free. Go figure, right? Stallone. I don't believe Delta Force is free, but most of them are. American Ninja, which we're going to get to American Ninja, that's free as well. So, yeah. Oh, Tom says still holds up. Just watched it last week in honor of Chuck. Yeah, that's part of why I've been rebuilding my relationship with the Canon films. There's a few of them that I never stop watching. Cobra being one of them, Revenge of the Ninja being one of them. American Ninja I'll watch every now and again, but it's not my favorite. I'll be honest about it. Yeah, Cobra isn't free. It's like $4. Yeah, there you go. Poster art by Stan Watts. Thank you, Ken the Band. Thank you for adding that. Yeah, he did a lot of great stuff. The Barbarians is on Amazon too. Yeah. So anyway, Invasion USA. If you haven't seen it in a while, go rewatch it because it's got some heavy themes to it. But yeah, there we go. This is CIA agent Matt Hunter. Not to be confused with Matt Tracker or Matt LECROY, but there he is with the open shirt because that boy has his shirt open a lot in that movie. So Cobra is free on Crave if you're Canadian. There you go. CC Murphy says, I got to run as well. Wife unit is home and it's dinner time. Thank you for being here, my friend. Take care of that new tattoo. So yeah, here he is right there. That is Matt Hunter from 1985's Invasion USA, complete with his awesome belt buckle because Chuck Norris and belt buckles, right? Goes hand in hand. Somebody was talking about Delta Force. Oh, Action Joe Figs. I actually own a Canon Films t-shirt. Dude, that's awesome. That's very cool. Menjoza says Richard Lynch from such films as Invasion USA and The Sword and the Sorcerer is a classic bad guy. Yeah, it was interesting, like him being the Russian, the Soviet agent who's all burned up in Invasion USA. Yeah, he was really good in Sword and the Sorcerer. Thank you for adding that. James Lucas says, you name it, Matt LECROY has made an amazing figure of it. Yes, and that's why I kind of wanted to tie both of these things together. Not only awesome Canon Films action movies with, you know, characters that we love. I mean, who doesn't love the Delta Force? So many people say, oh, the Delta Force is my favorite G.I. Joe movie. Oh, American Ninja is my favorite G.I. Joe movie. They're all fucking Canon films, you know? And Matt LECROY and Bobby Vance made fantastic figures of them. So I wanted to make a peanut butter and awesome sandwich out of this. I'm going to punch you in the fucking face. The Delta Force is the adult version of Megaforce. I think Megaforce would take him. That's what I think. I think Megaforce would take him. Lee Marvin, the man was a Marine on Tawara. Yep. In World War II. He is legit. 100%. Delta Force Classified 2002. Shut the hell up. No. I agree with just Jeff. I don't care what you fuckers think. How about that? Yep. Tall Geese Zero. Got to make dinner. See you chat holes later. Have a great week, gang. Have a good week as well, my friend. Thank you for being here. I will take Megaforce over Delta Force. Different flavors. But yeah. 100%. Anyway. So 1986, Chuck Norris, Lee Marvin, Major Scott McCoy. I'm sure all of you can hear the dun, 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 theme in your head if you remember the movie. Here's the figure. I only have, I believe, this one shot of this figure. However, we're going to look at something else as well. Yeah, Lee Marvin was a friggin' badass. But the 80s, you still had Lee Marvin. You got Chuck Norris, Schwarzenegger, Stallone, Van Damme got discovered. You still had a lot of these guys from the 60s and 70s who were still around. This was like the last decade of the true, like, man's man fucking action star. Bobby Vance from Lone Wolf Toys, what's up? Says, just an FYI, we take commission requests. There you go, everybody in the chat. If you want a figure of a certain character, reach out. Bobby Vance, Matt LeCroy, 100%. They will make you a badass figure. Yes. Also had Ed from the Police Files Naked Gun in Delta Force. That is true. Absolutely. My Zombie Finger is Dead says, fun fact, I've only seen Megaforce once, but I've seen Delta Force many more times than I can count. Well, that's on you, dude. Look, I'm a Megaforce guy. That's all there is to it. Everybody's known that. But yeah, so here is Major Scott McCoy from 1986 Delta Force, complete with a flag water slide. Now, I gotta show you guys this. So look at this freaking awesome figure. What the fuck? This is currently available on Entertainment Earth from Trick or Treat Studios for 30 American doll hairs. Look at this freaking Nightmare Fuel figure. $30 for this. This or that. There's another view. Look at this fucking figure. If you want to go see the rest of these Nightmare Fuel images from Trick or Treat Studios on Entertainment Earth, by all means, go check it out. But this thing is shit. And I'm not trying to crap on another toy studio, but like, look at that likeness. And then look at this. Fans do the best work. Fans always do the best work. I lost 3 viewers from that. I don't even care. Yeah. That's Barry Gibbs. That's Barry Gibbs from Wish. 100%. Jeffy says, I'm not putting that link up. I refuse. Go buy from Matt or Bobby. 100%. Oh, it looks like it was designed for Power of the Force 2. Jesus, right? All torso. Yeah, that figure is not, it is just not that good. My eyes. My eyes. I can't stand it. Is that Entertainment Earth a figure of Chris Christopherson? Maybe. Maybe. It's the Temu version. It looks like the CEO from Twitch. Well, it does not look like Major Scott McCoy from the Delta Force. So, again, Matt LECROYS, Trick or Treat Studios. So, is that making your eyes hurt? Sorry. It's Prince Adam after 30 years of listening to Skeletor jokes, right? Stevens, I would love if Bobby Valla did Delta Force with his Action Force line. I mean, that would be cool. I don't know how the Delta Force would, well, I mean, it's Delta Force, right? Based on the actual Delta Force, but I don't know. It looks like Swayze. Yeah, the only thing I like is the RPG. Look, you can get a good looking 118 scale RPG easy. If you're a 118 collector, you should probably have tackle boxes full of weapons with at least 40 RPGs. If you don't, I will send you 5 in the mail. That's fine. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. So, LAPD Zombie Squad's very own Lieutenant Marion Cobra Cobretti. If you haven't seen this movie in a while, fix yourself and go reacquaint with the fucking awesomeness that is Cobra. Apparently that's Bodhi from Point Break. Yeah. I love this movie. I love everything about this movie. It is very dark. It is very serious. And yes, as someone, which I probably shouldn't have highlighted it, pointed it out earlier in the stream, this movie is highly influenced by Sylvester Stallone's original 1984 script for Beverly Hills Cop, which was a lot darker until Eddie Murphy got involved. So out of that original script for Beverly Hills Cop came Cobra, which was this was the last time that he collaborated with his then wife, because it was Rocky IV, then Cobra, then Rocky IV. I want to say it was Rocky IV, then Cobra, and then they divorced. And they didn't work together again until Creed II. Look at that fucking figure. Look at it. Freaking awesome. Yep. Cobra. Look at the detail on the jeans alone. Over the boots. So awesome. Let me back that up. You get the whole picture. The whole figure in one shot. They got to go back, not forward. Yeah, there you go. Boom! Says Man of Action. Hell yeah. Will the figure come with scissors and a pizza? Somebody knows his Cobra. Probably not. No, I don't know. And yeah, there's the link to Lone Wolf Toys on eCrater. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate it. Yeah, this figure's freaking awesome. I think I have another shot of him. Nope. Let me go back. But yeah, this is Lieutenant Marion Cobra Cobretti. Such an awesome figure. Fantastic. If you can find a Mercury to sit him in, whatever. If not, that's fine. He only comes with a gun cleaning kit in the 12-pack of eggs. Yeah, the egg carton. It's so fucking ridiculous, but it's a freaking awesome movie. Yeah. Lord of Brooklyn, demand that Chad share unreleased, unedited European cut of Cobra. Ooh. I've not even seen that. Yes, Tango and Cash is awesome. 100%. And it had her name's escaping me. From the Lois and Clark. Yeah. Sure did. Somebody will put it in the chat in like 5 minutes. It's fine. But yeah, there's Cobra right there. Another freaking awesome design. I mean, look at the detail on the lenses of his aviators, just alone, right? The freaking detail that Bobby and Matt put into their figures. You're not going to find that in mainline release toys. Terry Hatcher, thank you. Well, wasn't she a stripper? She was a stripper, right? An exotic dancer. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Jeff. They're real and they're unbelievable. Yeah, she was banging in that movie. But Brigitte Nielsen was pretty banging in Cobra. Has anyone seen Brigitte Nielsen lately? Ever since she did that Flavor of Love shit? Holy God. Anyway. Yes, she was. She was an exotic dancer. Correct. All right. So Stallone's Over the Top. This was filmed for less than Cobra, made more money than Cobra. And yeah, Brigitte and Flavor Flav. Yeah, 100%. This is Stallone as truck driver, Lincoln Hawk, right? Fucking over the top, baby, right? Where he has to turn the hat around, which you're going to see that here in a second. Yeah, 1987, Over the Top. Boom. This fucking figure. These guys kill it. They kill it all the time. Kenny Loggins killed it with the soundtrack. Yeah, well, Kenny Loggins, it kind of goes hand in hand. Kenny Loggins soundtracks and badass 80s fucking toxic masculinity action stars, right? Yeah, Over the Top is another good movie. And his son in the movie is actually his real son, who was also his son in Rocky V. Therefore, same universe. Yeah, the Canon films, they had a lot of serious impact on us as kids. Jeffy says, fun fact, Lincoln Hawk's truck was in The Wizard, driven by the friendly truck driver. Hi, Callie. Come here. Hi. Want to say hi to everybody? Would you love to say hi? Yeah. She likes to lick my beard. Hi. You smell great. What are you doing? She says, I escaped today. You guys want to see Callie? Here. Hold up. You got a high five? Got a high five? I want a high five, not a lick. Say hi to everybody. Look. Oh, now you want to high five me? Look at everybody. Where's my baby? Yeah. She's the sweet one. She likes to lick the beard. She's the sweet one. Odie is not. So, does everyone remember Stallone's first movie? No, I don't. I do not. Michael Zimmerman says, my pit bull is saying it's walk time. Catch y'all later. Thanks for being here, my dude. Appreciate you. I hope you enjoy your walk with your pit bull. No, I don't remember Stallone's first movie. Wasn't it like a softcore or something? Yeah, that's what I thought. Wasn't it like a softcore porn? Yeah. Yeah. Yep. 100%. Anyway, so here's Lincoln Hawk with his baseball hat on. And there's a different head sculpt. 100%. Freaking awesome figure. But yeah, Over the Top. I thought Frank Stallone wrote all the songs for the movies. I don't know about that. How about I do this? Italian Stallion porn. I have an Italian Stallion t-shirt. It's, yellow and black. And I have Italian Stallion socks. Yeah. Who wants to arm wrestle? Bring me the Canon now. Daniel Mendenhall played his son and also voiced Daniel in the Transformers movie. What? In this movie? I thought that was his kid. You sure about that? You sure about that 5 minutes? Rezakai says, even though it wasn't Canon Films, I did love Uncommon Valor. Yes, that's a good movie. 1987 over-the-top soundtrack was primarily composed and produced by Giorgio, I can't pronounce that last name. He collaborated with lyricist Tom Whitlock to create the film's music, including the main title theme, Meet Me Halfway, performed by Kenny Loggins. Yep. I don't know, Cooter. I'm looking at Bobcat Goldthwait. I don't believe you. George Aiken, what's up, my man? All the way from across the pond, everyone's favorite real-life supervillain in his own volcano lair. It's good to see you, George. I will say one thing movies do get right is that Taco Bell will be the only franchise to survive Demolition Man. Yeah, they survived the franchise wars, 100%. Rocky V had his, I thought it was the same kid. Is it not the same kid? Damn it. Maybe I Mandela affected myself. I think I did. I probably did. Yes, Rocky V was his son. I thought it was the same kid. The military school kid. Anyway, so here is the over-the-top action figure. 2 different head sculpts. Hat on forward, hat on backwards. Freaking awesome, right? Hey, I got a question for all you in the chat. Can you guess who lost their action figure when they were a kid? I know it's Rambo and the Force of Freedom, but anybody? Bueller? No? Yeah. So someone decided to turn this version of Rambo from the Force of Freedom into a girl. No? Anybody? Okay, just checking. Yeah, Buffalo Bill. Is that a classified sex toy? Might be, but yeah, we're gonna go with it's Buffalo Bill's old childhood action figure, because gotta cut down the toxic masculinity and take out the patriarchy and all that shit. Anywho, Revenge of the Ninja. There are no figures for Enter the Ninja. Not that I was sent, doesn't mean they don't exist. But this is my favorite freaking ninja movie ever. Just rewatched it as well. Fucking love this movie. 100%. So 1983, Enter the Ninja was 1981. Revenge of the Ninja was 1983. Ninja 3, The Domination was 1984. And that concluded Sho Kosugi's Ninja trilogy with Canon Films and Pray for Death, which I love his fucking ninja outfit and Pray for Death. It's very Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That was Trans World Entertainment in 1985. I want to say 85 or 86. Whatever. Don't quote me on it. But he plays Cho Osaki in Revenge of the Ninja. Obviously, his son, Kane Kosugi, is in the movie as well. And then there is the figure with his family's little crest, right, that his mother was talking about. And if any of you remember Revenge of the Ninja or have rewatched it recently, the first 5 minutes of this movie, the bloodshed is ridiculous. Everybody gets it. Old people, kids, the wife, they all get murked. The kid catches a shuriken right there. Blip. The wife gets an arrow like right through her chest. The old lady, wow, with the swords. That ninja clan jacks up his family. So, yeah, so there he is, Cho Osaki, aka Sho Kosugi from Revenge of the Ninja. And look at this shit. Even put it on a freaking G.I. Joe card back. Codename Master Ninja Shokasugi with swivel arm battle grip. That is fucking awesome. I would love to have this figure carded. I have some of Bobby's work. I have some of Matt's work. Yeah, I think I'm going to ask for one of these, but this right is just freaking awesome. Justin Booth says his ninja films with Canon is what spawned the American Ninja series of films. Look, between Chuck Norris and Shokasugi, you know, with a little side note of the Karate Kid, that is what spawned all of the fucking karate, ninja, all that shit that we all remember as kids. How many of you remember on TV or in the back of magazines, there would be like these ads where you can buy like a real ninja outfit and all this stuff. Like, there you go. Fucking Shokasugi. So would it be a rival clan to the Arashikage? The Osaki clan? Sure. Yeah. It would be a rival, right? Because obviously you've got this versus the Arashikage I Ching, which is two separate I Chings, right? Yeah. Fire and water. We've all been over that, right? Storm Shadow's the fire. Snake Eyes is the water, right? Be formless, be like water, so on and so forth. But that's what the I Chings of the Arashikage clan represent. Yeah. Anyway, so there he is. It even says with the interchangeable snap-on, stay-on accessories, which, you know, Kirk Bazigian came up with that. Accessories include katana, all that stuff. I can't read what this is, commas. I can't. It's under the blister. So very freaking cool. They killed it. Killed it with this. Dan says, I members. My friends back in the 80s, my friend was buying swords and shurikens. Yeah. I don't have a quote unquote ninjato, which is the ninja sword. I do have a samurai sword, but I don't have a ninjato, which has the square pommel. And that was all Shokasugi's thing anyway. Straight blade, shorter blade, square pommel. Yeah, the ninjato. Yeah. But there is no historical evidence that shinobi, which, you know, everybody wants to say ninja, but shinobi, they were like the ones that would go out, gather intelligence and things like that, do assassinations if they needed to. That shinobi used any type of different sword. So, yeah. No, that's not the samurai sword is the katana. Yeah. The ninjato is the one that Shokasugi kind of came up with. You're a ninjato. Shut the fuck up. Look, I got this just for you. Where is it? I got to find it. Shh. We're going to find it. Where is it? Oh, here. This for you, Nico.
You need to shut the up. That's what I do if I had no army. I would shut up. Shut the
Mm-hmm. Shut the fuck up. Bobby Vance, thank you for being here, my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, the man himself from Lone Wolf Toys. If you want an awesome fucking figure, hit up him or Matt LeCroy for all of your Canon Films toxic masculinity character needs. So, yeah, 100%. I love you, Nico. You know I love you, dude. I love the Master System game Shinobi. The Sega Master System? I'm picking up what you're putting down. Look at that. You can't stump me. Except for when I think it was Stallone's kid and Over the Top. I don't fucking know. Shinobi used a slightly shortened katana. There you go. But did it have a square pommel like a ninjato with a straight blade? I don't know. Probably not. Ninja Gaiden. Look, if you want to throw down freaking ninja video games, it's Tenchu Stealth Assassin all day long. I wish I could get a modern version of that game because sometimes the camera work sucks. Anyway. Yeah, so moving on. to the third movie in Sho Kosugi's Ninja Trilogy. Has anyone watched this in the past couple of years? Have you? Parts of this movie are freaking awesome. Parts of it are kind of cheesy, like extra cheesy. When the Black Ninja soul leaves Christie here, as played by Lucinda Dickey from Breakin' and Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo. Yes, the freaking golf course scene, Stevens. But when the soul goes back in the body and you see the sword like, and you can see the string, the way that it's hovering, and he turns on the slab and raises up. I know. TJC Toy Memories. Yes, Terry, I know you've been streaming Tenchu. So fucking good, man. Throw out that poison rice, boy. Anyway, Ninja 3's got some really great action scenes. And it is cheesy greatness, right? There's some stuff that's a little too much, but the fact that like his soul kind of possesses her body and she doesn't know where she's been and she like loses time and she's got all these bruises and shit on her when she's assassinating all the cops who killed the Black Ninja. Freaking that stuff's awesome. The Black Ninja's costume, I really like that. Sho Kosugi's character in this movie is Goro Yamada. So even though it's the Ninja Trilogy, he's not the same character in all three movies. Obviously, Enter the Ninja revolves around the Caucasian ninja guy. So even though Sho Kosugi plays a good guy in Ninja 3, it's not Cho Osaki. So, oh, Tristan says I'm playing Ghost of Yotai at the moment. Freaking awesome, man. That's cool. HollowNet says been too long. We'll need to rewatch these. There's some good stuff. I just rewatched this one not that long ago, so it's still pretty fresh in my memory. There's a lot of good stuff. Yeah. Dreadnought says redo all the NES side scrollers in Unreal Engine 5, release them, call it a day. That's what I'm talking about. Absolutely. At least it's not Beverly Hills Ninja. Oh, Chris Farley. But yes, so we're going to look at the only female action figure. I mean, really, if you think about it, right? The original 13 Joes from 1982. You had Scarlet. Everybody else was a dude. It's fine. Kind of fits, right? But yeah, there she is. Freaking rad. So this is supposed to be Christy Ryder from Ninja 3 The Domination. Bam. There you go. Her outfit's a little red. It's a little red, but it looks freaking awesome. I mean, make it red by all means, whatever. But even though the Black Ninja didn't wear black, he had kind of like that weird greenish gray costume. Yeah. You haven't seen them? I don't think you're talking to me. Are you talking to me? Hal Jordan says, oh, I'm back. I'm fat. I needed food. That's fine. It's all good. Oh, Curb Stop's back too. Good to have you back. She could take on Jinx. Yeah, I would put her against Jinx. 100%. Where she's possessed by the Black Ninja? Yeah, because she's got that freaking... She got that crazy, like, supernatural strength. You know what I'm talking about, right? Where he picks up the golf cart and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Looks like a red version of April O'Neil from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'll take it. At least she's not a Jinx body repaint. Nope. No, absolutely not. They don't do that. Man of Action says, I'm just going to say it. I'm going to have to send out an allotment form out for this site. Are you talking about Matt LaCroix and Bobby Vance? She's wearing Kim Arashikage's gear. We're talking about the rope. That's not a Kim Arashikage figure. But, yep. Anywho, Shockwave says these ninja movies were always on Sunday matinee on television when I was a kid. Yeah, 100%. Right? They were absolutely on all the time. Ken the Band says that head sculpt is a work of art. I agree. It's a freaking awesome head sculpt. Yep. Boop. And then there's a Man of Action says she'll break Jinx off. She's Black Ninja qualified. Yeah, she absolutely is. The Black Ninja was next level. Right. Yep. Sex crazed and retard strong. That's what we're saying. Yeah. Got that retard strumpf. Absolutely. Mother Slug says, I can see right down into her pin. My eyes. Oh, you mean like, hold up. You talking about her T-bar here? You like that, baby? Yeah, look in there. Oh, it's smooth. Nice and smooth, baby. Yeah, I mean, we kind of talked about Lucinda Dickey and how she's in that itty bitty titty committee, but she still had it going on. You know what I mean? Still had it going on. TJC says all 3 Canon ninja films are streaming on Amazon Prime at the moment. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier on the stream. Most of the Canon films, you can stream them on Amazon Prime for free. Not all of them, but most of them. Obviously, Cobra is not for free. The Delta Force, it is the Delta Force, is not for free, but most of them are. American Ninja is. The Shokasugi Ninja Trilogy is all free. Invasion USA is free. Missing in Action 1, 2, and 3 are free. That rhymed and I didn't mean it. Yeah. If she's from the 80s, it's not smooth. I know. That would be accurate. And apparently that stuff is making a comeback. I mean, not a lot. I'm not going to say anything, but I don't know. I've heard from some people that's making a comeback. The Delta Force is free on Tubi. Thank you, Brandon. There you go. And that is why all of us here are a
community, and community.
I don't know why it delayed, but yeah, you get what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Could have gotten rid of that made in China on the inner thigh, just saying, oh, well, buy one and then write a sternly written letter about it. I don't know what to tell you. Justin Boof, Cobra, Over the Top, Masters of the Universe, Bloodsport, Superman 4, Quest for Peace are owned by Warner Brothers. That's why they are not free on Amazon Prime. Look at this guy dropping the fucking knowledge bomb. Thank you, my dude. I have no interest in rewatching Superman 4, The Quest for Peace ever. Fucking John Cryer in that movie makes me want to vomit in my mouth. Superman 4 is shit. I'm sorry. It's freaking terrible. Masters of the Universe, I did rewatch that not that long ago, and yes, I did have to rent it. I don't own a physical copy of Masters of the Universe. I did go to a no shit physical media store the other day, and I bought up every Canon film he had. He had Ninja 3: The Domination on VHS, sealed for $400, and I really considered buying it. Yep. Michael says, apparently I came back just in time. I hope it's not coming back. Yeah, I don't look. I'm married, so I don't got to worry about that. But yeah. Nuclear Man, garbage, right? With the fingernails, and he scratches them, and they're fucking fight on the moon. That was fucking terrible. Yeah, MGM bought most of Canon. Mm-hmm. Everybody's buying everybody up these days, kids. It is what it is. I have Masters of the Universe on DVD. Well, look at you. Blah, 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 blah. That's awesome. I have The Power of Grayskull, which is the fucking best toy IP documentary ever made. Rob McCallum. And yeah, I have that. Oh, I have 87 Masters of the Universe on Blu-ray. Fuck all you guys. It's fine. It's fine. J.R. Carter, cold take. Frank Langella as Skeletor was the best. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a common opinion. I am not in a giving vein this day. He's fucking awesome. Yes, just say no. 100%. George Aiken says, Superman, The Quest for Peace is a work of art in comparison with the James Gunn movies. I think I'll agree with that. Because at least it wasn't everybody else saving Superman in Superman's movie in Superman 4. Yeah. Even in Superman 3, he fought himself. He didn't need Mr. Terrific to come save his ass, you know? I got a rock. That's cool. Hal Jordan, I've got G.I. Joe complete series on DVD in a mini footlocker. I fucking do too. What's up? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Neat. Okay, cool. So anyway, this is Lucinda Dickey. Lucinda Dickey's character. Christy Ryder from Ninja 3, The Domination. Only female figure you're going to see in this lot. Cobra 2, The Quest for Pizza with scissors. Okay, now let's get into this. I know a lot of people love American Ninja, and they're like, oh man, that's my fucking G.I. Joe movie. Here it is. The deadliest art of the Orient is now in the hands of an American. I just spilled my tea. Just fucking spilled it. We're having one of those days, kids. It's that kind of Sunday. So yeah. Canon Films, American Ninja, 1985. So we got Joe Armstrong there. And there you go. So that is Joe and Corporal Jackson. You're going to see something else with Corporal Jackson here in a second. Corporal Curtis Jackson. Brandon R says, I just watched American Ninja last week. That's awesome. Very cool. Bear 11 Charlie, my favorite mortar man. What is up, my dude? Thank you for being here. Hal Jordan says that I forgot to take my meds and drink my water today. No, I didn't. And if you were late, we already showed it, but
just checking in. Have you drank water today? Did you eat? Did you take your meds?
Mm-hmm. That's a nightmare fuel, kids.
That's that bullshit. That's that bullshit.
I don't know what it's doing. It might just be on my end. StreamYard, right? StreamYard's really good with the clips, but it is not as reliable as Streamlabs. It is what it is. So Tristan says, I love American Ninja. James Lucas says, Christy Ryder sounds like a porn name, just saying. Kind of does, doesn't it? I mean, her real name is Lucinda Dickey. She dances very well, though. She does a lot of that weird 80s fucking Breakfast Club dancing in Ninja 3, The Domination. If you haven't seen it, by all means, please go watch it again. Yeah. Shockwave says, Tower of Power was a bunch of dudes in muscle suits doing a He-Man stage play. Interesting. Okay. I swear to God, you need to see when I remove a message to avoid that bullshit. I don't know what you're talking about, dude. Steve James, aka Kung Fu Joe. So yeah, here we are. So Joe Armstrong, Corporal Curtis Jackson, and then there's Corporal Jackson with his vest on. Yeah, freaking awesome figures. That's what laser pants would look like in drag. The clip that I just showed, is American Samurai and Perfect Weapon on your list? No, they are not on my list. Stevens, I last watched American Ninja July 3rd, 2003. That's very specific. Did you go look? Dickie Ryder. Is that like Dickie Roberts? Knuckin' Futz? I don't know. Was she in an Escape from New York? I don't know if Lucinda Dickey was in Escape from New York. I'm not too sure at all. I only remember the main female in Escape from New York with the huge tracts of land. Curbstop says American Ninja was awesome till they got to the third one and they introduced David Bradley. Yeah. The second one was okay. It was good. The first one's the best, but look, I will always put Sho Kosugi's ninja movies over American Ninja any day, especially Revenge of the Ninja. I think Revenge of the Ninja is freaking awesome. Everything, the story, the Italian mob, what's in the dolls that come from Japan, the whole thing. And it's a perfect ninja movie for me. It doesn't have the cheesiness of Ninja 3, The Domination. And I personally, I just think American Ninja drags out. It just drags out a little much. So, yes. Adrian. Yep. Adrian Barbeau. Yep. She had huge tracts of land. Yeah. Mother Slug says, I never got into ninja movies, just speaking frankly. That's totally fine. Yeah, absolutely. Totally fine. I remember the brutal ninja obstacle course in American Ninja 4. I do not. I don't even know if I've seen the fourth one. I'm going to be honest. But yeah, they just kept going. They just kept going. So anyway, yeah. So here is Curtis Jackson in his vest. And there he is, a different version of him. Curtis Jackson. And then there's both of them with the poster. I'll blow this up a little bit. Adrian Barbeau, OG Butterface. Oh, man, this shit, boy. Yeah, so there they are. There's the figures right there. I remember American Ninja Warrior. Oh, Stephen Amell? I didn't know that he did American Ninja Warrior. Ninja Warrior was awesome, period. Yeah. I know who you meant. Yeah, Stephen Amell. Was Best of the Best a Canon film? Ask Sergeant Major Google. I don't know. There's a lot of Canon films. But I'm only showing the Canon films that Matt and Bobby did figures of. Oh, God, I just found Faces of Death. No, don't watch that. Don't. Just don't. TJC says, as mentioned earlier, I liked the last Ninja film. Can't get it on DVD over here at the moment. Gotcha. Was Michael Dudikoff an actual martial artist? That I don't know either. Best of the Best is not a Canon film. There you go. The Lilith, what's up? Good to see you. Greetings, Chad and plastic friends of the Temple of Crack. Very good. Good to see you. Stephen Amell would be a good Duke even if he's Canadian. I don't disagree, but okay, look, I'm going to be superficial and just say Stephen Amell is short. But yeah, I think he's awesome. I liked him as Casey Jones. So, yeah, 100%. And cast his cousin Robbie as Falcon. Wasn't he Firestorm? Isn't that his cousin? The guy who played the CW Firestorm? I don't freaking know. Look at me. What the fuck do I know? Okay, Dad, I won't watch Faces of Death. Look it. Shut the fuck. Don't look. I'm just saying, don't watch it. Yeah, okay, that is him. Yeah, he would make a good Flint, 100%. I liked Brendan Fraser's character, Sergeant Stone, which a lot of people thought he was Flint. However, he was not. Patrick Strauko. I like ninja movies, but I love kung fu films. Yeah, I'm sure all of us remember Kung Fu Theater, right? Kung Fu Theater is pretty cool. Michael Zimmerman. Tom Cruise is short, but his character still looks 6 feet tall. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I'll give you that. It's all good. Brandon, don't watch Faces of Death. Don't do it, man. Okay. 1988's Bloodsport. This is the film that discovered Jean-Claude Van Damme. Even though he was in the first Breakin'? Was it Breakin' or Breakin' 2? The scene on the beach. He's one of the background people doing this. Anyway, I can't remember. Lol, Faces of Death is on Tubi. Don't watch it. Don't watch it. This is fucking rough, man. The film that inspired Johnny Cage, that is absolutely correct. Johnny Cage was inspired by Captain Frank Dukes, spelled D-U-X, pronounced Dukes, of the U.S. Army. Absolutely inspired the character of Johnny Cage. So here we have Chong Li and Frank Dukes fighting in the Kumite, which they say Kumite probably 586,241 times in this movie. There you go. Look at that fucking head sculpt. I mean, that dude's got some Popeye forearms, but check out that fucking head sculpt on that figure. I saw Faces of Death in the 80s. I'm all set with that. Yeah. Yeah. I thought Dukes was Air Force. No, he was Army. Yep, Army. Look it up, motherfucker. I just watched this movie not that long ago, too. Just to reacquaint myself with Bloodsport. I thought Van Damme's first film is No Retreat, No Surrender. From what I'm tracking, this was his like discovery, his big starring outbreak kind of a thing. Yep. Whatever. No, yeah, I'm just playing. Yeah, he was Army. Yeah, he was Army. In fact, when you at the beginning of the film, when you see him, you know, on the installation, whatever Army post that he's on, they're all wearing the OD green Class Bs. So yeah. Mm-hmm. So anyway, yep. Frank Dukes, Chong Li with the massive pectoral muscles. There's Chong Li. There is not a version of this figure where he's in his little short shorts later, where he has his buddy's Harley Davidson bandana around his calf. But yeah, there's both the figures right there. Freaking awesome job. Even got the headband. Bolo Young, yeah, absolutely. With Chong Li's like the whole movie. Yeah, he's pretty rough in that. Insiders remember Van Damme was the original Predator. That is true. He was the original Predator before Stan Winston came in and redesigned the look of the Predator. Mm-hmm. Did he make an ogre figure? No. Mm-mm. I forget that dude's name. Like, I remember him in the movie where he freaking smashes the brick and then hands it to those guys. And Bolo Young's Chong Li's like, brick not hit back. Triple D, what's up, man? I was talking about you earlier. You, me, and CC Murphy all got new ink. Good to see you, my dude. I heard Donald Gibbs was an asshole on the set of Bloodsport. But what was the name of his character? I don't know. I don't know if he was, but it was interesting to see him not do the ogre character, you know, the voice and all that stuff. Thank God for that fateful flight where Stan Winston set Predator straight. Yeah, he did. Stan Winston saved that movie, because that original Predator design looked fucking stupid. Ray Jackson, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. To honor my Shidoshi, Van Damme is in both Breakin' movies. Damn, I didn't know that. Enlisted as part of the stunt team for Missing in Action 2. His first starring role was No Retreat, No Surrender. Huh. Okay. Thank you, Curb Stomp. I appreciate that. You Jackson? You look like a Jackson. Yeah. Yeah. Ray Jackson. Okay. Well, anyway, so here's the figures. Frank Dukes, Chong Li. Pardon me. This is not Canon Films at all. But I fucking love Lone Wolf McQuade. And it's Chuck Norris. And I would be remiss if I didn't show their figures from this movie. A Shidoshi is a sucker. No. Anyway. There you go. Texas Ranger J.J. McQuade. Just kicking away, throwing kicks. And then there he is with his little wolfhound. Everybody remembers what happens to that dog, right? Which sucks. Lone Wolf McQuade is also on Tubi. I would not be surprised. Lone Wolf McQuade, I do own on physical media. For sure. Van Damme and Dukes, right? That's right, because that movie is based on this guy's real life. I forgot about that. Co-wrote the movie The Quest about another underground fighting competition. Not very good. Yeah, The Quest isn't very good. But yeah, the actual, the no shit Frank Dukes. Yeah, that's right. Based on his real life adventures. But yeah, there you go. Lone Wolf McQuade and his wolf dog. And these were Orion films. But Orion also went to MGM, so on and so forth, Amazon, etc. Jean-Claude Van Damme is listed as gay karate man in Monaco forever. Oh, womp womp. Both those figures, sorry, look like cops figures. What? This figure? I don't know what you're saying. Real life. Just saying. Based on his bullshit. At the end of the movie, it does say that it's based on whatever. Duke sued Jean-Claude Van Damme over The Quest. Dang, son. Yeah, she is smoking hot and Lone Wolf McQuade. Also, the blonde chick from Revenge of the Ninja, always wearing that red karate gi top with like just her little skivvies underneath. Just saying. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Yeah, I thought Legionnaires was a very underrated Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. Look, I'm a big fan of Universal Soldier, so that's just me. Amongst legit martial artists, Frank Dukes is a pro bullshitter. Okay. There you go. Anyway, so yeah, there's JJ McQuade right there and right there. So again, I just wanted to talk about Canon films, awesome characters that that we all love from those Canon films, and the actors who played them. Real life martial artists and things like that. But I also wanted to showcase the freaking amazing work that guys like Bobby Vance and Matt LeCroy do in regard to keeping O-ring figures alive and giving us stuff that we've not had before. So anyway, but now we're going to talk about this. I'm sure everyone has biggest bullshitter is Steven Seagal. Yeah. Chuck Norris had some tactful yet truthful things to say about Steven Seagal and his freaking bullshit. But yeah, but I wanted to talk to you guys about this. So hopefully, well, I don't know. Hopefully, I'm sure a lot of people have seen the post from Mr. Panzica over at Hasbro about him leaving. So this is his post from Instagram, kind of chopped up a little bit. Yes, Chuck Norris hated Steven Seagal. Mr. Vargo, what is up, my dude? Channel member for 24 months, uses his chat trademark 2024, this face, and says, hi. Hello, Mr. Vargo. I hope tax season went okay for you. I know it's very rough for you. So, Chad, did you do Delta Force? Yes, I did. I showed. It was the third. Missing in Action, Invasion USA, and then Delta Force. So yes, I did show a Major Scott McCoy figure from Delta Force. 100%. You can go back and see it. It's fun. So anyway, so this is the Instagram post from Lenny there and here. Well over 100 people sent me this. Have you seen this? Have you seen this? Have you seen this? Yes, I saw it. Me personally, I keep getting asked what my thoughts are on it. I don't know why my thoughts matter. At the end of the day, people got to do what's best for them, whatever that looks like. One thing that I always tried to stress to subordinates and subordinate leaders, and even my child, if you know what you're worth, go get what you're worth. Right? Isn't that from Rocky Balboa? I think it is, but I mean, it holds true. And I don't care. I don't care. Like, Kirk Bazigian is the godfather of G.I. Joe. Everything that G.I. Joe knew from 1982 on was stuff that Kirk Bazigian came up with. Flag points, all the mail away stuff, Kirk, blueprints, Kirk, sticker sheets, build the vehicle yourself, Kirk, file cards, Kirk. I mean, he didn't write the file cards, but the idea of file cards, that was all Kirk Bazigian. Kirk was removed from G.I. Joe and went to Play School Baby. It doesn't mean that you're doing a bad job. It doesn't mean that they don't like you or anything like that. You just go do other stuff. And somebody leaving Hasbro to go do something else, that's great. Because at the end of the day, not saying he was going to, but you know, there are new rounds of layoffs coming up. So sometimes you just got to get while the getting's good. It is what it is. I don't really have any opinion on that. Boss Fight Studios, though, yeah. And the weird thing is, old Corey here, who got shafted by Hasbro, he's over at Boss Fight Studios now too. Maybe Boss Fight's going to be doing something awesome. I don't know. I don't own any Boss Fight Studios figures. I do know about the hacks. You know, there's 12 or 112 scale versions, 118 scale. I don't own them. None of it's my jam. So I know people have their opinions on if they're quality or not, but they're both over there now, which not a lot of coincidence in this world, right? Just is what it is. Either way, good thing for both of them. Good thing for Boss Fight Studios. It is what it is for Hasbro. It's not like he ran G.I. Joe. He didn't run G.I. Joe. You know, he was a designer. BMAC runs G.I. Joe and Transformers because that's how the corporate world works, right? You know, you got to do more work for the same pay. Corporations, you know, they'll just do that to you. So Lenny wasn't the brand manager. Yeah, he was a designer. Yeah, he had ideas. I know for a fact the one time he and I spoken person, which, you know, I'll give him all the credit in the world that he walked up to me and Ryan. I thought that was, you know, I don't want to say ballsy, but I thought yeah, that was pretty cool of him. People want to do stuff and then the corporation's going to corporate. They don't want you to do it, but it is what it is. That's all I'm going to say. I don't give a fuck one way or the other. I just want to see G.I. Joe be in the best place that the intellectual property can be in. And I don't think that Classified and Super 7 are doing it. And I think that they could do it better one way or the other. That's with or without any of these designers. Because really, you're just stealing from a real American hero anyway. At the end of the day, I'm not putting that on him, but I mean, that shit exists. It's already there. Robert's Infinite Realm says, I'm sorry, Lenny mostly cut and paste from old designs. I never thought highly of his work. But again, that's the line, right? The Classified isn't, it's not like Sigma 6 or Resolute or Retaliation or Renegades. Those were their own thing. Yeah, it was a lot of the same characters, but at least they had like different spins on them. Classified tried to at the beginning. And then all the fucking member-bearing nostalgia baiters were like, no, we need to have exactly like you like Duke looked in 1984. Otherwise, I don't want the figure. That's the fans that did that. And Classified just turned into, let's rob everything G.I. Joe over the past 40 years, to include Resolute Snake Eyes. I wouldn't be shocked if they come out with Sergeant Savage. You know, it is what it is. That Classified is not, it's not its own thing. It is literally a 1/12 scale kitchen sink of G.I. Joe. And I don't think anybody that worked on the line is really, they're not going to rock the boat. They're just not. Like, okay, you know, you want Flint to look like he looked in the 80s? Fine. There you go. So Brandon R says, got to run, got to pack the truck before it's dark. Doing the Kessel run tonight, Ontario to Florida. Yes, dude, that is awesome. Hell yeah. Very cool. The game that came out, but people bitched. The game that was based on Classified? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. Operation Blackout. Look. The Snake Eyes movie, the Classified line, and that game were all supposed to come out around the same time. And then things happened where they didn't all come out at the same time. If you own that game and you go digging through a lot of the artwork on the game, you're going to see a bunch of figures that came out like in much later waves. That being said, the game failed because the gameplay sucks. It's literally, you just strafe. You just strafe and shoot or whatever, and that's just how you defeat everybody. The gameplay's not great. There's nothing wrong with like, the visuals of the game are fine. You know, like the UI is fine. It's just the gameplay is shit. Yeah, it was a shitty bag of ass. It definitely was. The gameplay is not good on that game. Now, when you're running around the deck of the Flag as like Storm Shadow and Cobra Commander, and you see all these Easter eggs and stuff, there was a lot of love put into the background of the games, but the gameplay was shit. It was just utter shit. Northern Nomad. The only G.I. Joe Classified I have are some ninja, including Snake Eyes. Snake Eyes was never okay. He's a commando. And Storm Shadow, Quick Kick, Spirit. Okay. I have a shitload. I got a shitload of Classified. I got like 4 of them sitting right here on the floor next to me. Jerky says fresh designers is what Classified needs. Lenny can kick rocks. I think it needs a direction other than let's just redo a real American hero in a larger scale. That's what it needs. And it needs to not have the dumb shit like that fucking Lieutenant Falcon. That face, I know everybody's like, oh, well, 112 scale is better because the fucking detail. But when it's eye cancer, it's that much more noticeable. Yeah, they need to do several things. I don't know why my dogs are whining. They need to do several things. But having characters with quad missile launchers where the missiles don't fit in the launchers, but the blast effects do, like, yeah, fuck it, whatever, they'll buy it. Backwards blast effect, nah, it's fine. You know, that kind of shit. And Hasbro's always done that with G.I. Joe. You know, they were putting version 2 Snake Eyes on a version 1 Snake Eyes card with that Walmart retro collection. They're like, whatever, they'll buy it. When they're lazy, it shows. Venom, what's up, man? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. You like that? Thank you. I appreciate it very much. Man of Action says, throw figures at the wall and see who buys the remakes. But that's really, I'm not crapping on the line. I'm just pointing it out. And apparently these days, and this goes along with a lot of other stuff that I've been, you know, ripping the Band-Aid off with, it just gotta call things for what they are. There is nothing unique. There is nothing groundbreaking or new with Classified whatsoever. It's just open Mark Bellomo's guide and then just go, this guy right here. I know for a fucking fact. I hope this doesn't get me outed. Billy Arbach was pitched for Classified. Everybody was so fucking about Don Moreno. Oh, we've never seen this figure. Look, it's Don Moreno. Gah, 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 gah. Well, Billy Arbach was pitched. And somebody said, no, we won't make Billy Arbach, but we'll make Quinn. Okay, whatever. So it's just going to be what it's going to be, you know. You're just going to get the same old shit. Fluffy Cajun says, my comic got sliced in half. The Storm Shadow design from the game was teased. Yes, exactly. That was the original Classified design of Storm Shadow. And when Haya put out their 4-inch mini exquisite Storm Shadow, they did the original Classified aesthetic with the full sleeve tattoos, the Bane mask, the Batman gauntlets on his gloves. Yes, that was the original Classified design for Storm Shadow. But then, you know, all the member berry fucking nostalgia baiting people flipped out. And so that Storm Shadow never came out. It was the same with Sci-Fi. Sci-Fi was supposed to come out a lot earlier. They had that new Classified aesthetic version of Sci-Fi, and then they shit canned him. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would rather play Broforce than play that Joe game. Yeah, that's fair. Whatever. 100%. Jedi Ben says, I've honestly never even heard of Boss Fight Studios before this. Yeah, they do the hacks, Vitruvian hacks and all that stuff. And I mean, you can look them up, but I'm not saying, I'm just saying, I'm not going to get into the weeds about it, but you don't get these two guys at Boss Fight Studios out of coincidence. That's it. So, Lord of Brooklyn, Boss Fight and Valaverse are unifying against mighty Hasbro. Look, is Hasbro really that mighty? I mean, I love Hasbro toys, but I'm talking toys, not, you know, overpriced toys that are called adult collectibles with questionable QC and gummy accessories. I mean, like real fucking toys. I love their toys, but they stopped making toys in the mid-aughts. No flag points. That retro classified Flint is shit. I've never met a warrant officer that looks like he came right out of a community college. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? They come out with Stalker, and he looks like he's been retired for 2 decades. They come out with Falcon. He looks fucking Matt Damon out of Team America. And then they come out with that retro classified Flint, and he looks like shit. He totally looks like he's a fucking sophomore in college. Just ridiculous. Lenny didn't design Lieutenant Falcon. That was a contractor. Yeah. I mean, you hear a lot of different versions of that. He sent the first design back to be redone, ran out of time for a third redesign. It failed in the mold process. Then why fucking put it out? That's the same thing as Super 7 did the fucking card art for that AI Wild Bill with like 19 fingers. Okay, that's fine. It's still past Hasbro's QC. And I'm not putting that on this dude. I'm just saying at the end of the day, all of it goes through Hasbro. All of it. Brand managers, bosses. They've all got bosses. Everybody's got a boss over there. Oh. Mr. Chad, perhaps your presence is no longer needed at Hasbro panels. Panels are focus groups. Asking for a friend. Hasn't been any of those in a while. Just saying. Not about these lines. About kids' lines? Yes. But not these lines. We won't see the effects of a Lenny list classified for another year and a half. Yeah, absolutely. No Billy, but here's Sundown. Yep, here's Sundown. 100%. Anyway, so that, I mean, that's just it. It is what it is, and at the end of the day, I honestly don't care. Pokey, what's up, man? Good to see you. Hope all you Chad holes are doing well. Well, we're doing better now that you're here. Thank you for being here. Operation Blackout was horrible. I bought it day one. I did too. I still own it. Like I have the physical game, but you know, it is what it is. Venom says, I had a terrible experience with the hacks line, so I hope bringing Lenny and Dr. Mindbender, Corey, will help them improve their stuff. Again, none of it is really my lane. Matt Damon. Matt Damon. I know you're talking about me. What's up, baby? You want to come for a ride in my love machine? Yeah. Anyway, so moving on from that. We're getting off all that. This is, I don't know if this is cool, if it's not, you know, but yeah. Hasbro Legends streaming service. Always with the streaming services. Transformers, G.I. Joe, My Little Pony, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Gem and the Holograms. Because, whoa, Gem is truly outrageous, if you didn't know that. Oh, shit. Jesse knows what's up.
Chad, how insensitive of you.
Damn straight. Always insensitive of me. 100%. Lord of Brooklyn, a.k.a. Hasbro headquarters, says, we at Hasbro have also taken note of Chad's altered appearance for our convention staff. Look, I just stroll right in there. It's fine. It's all good. They don't call Chad loveless for nothing. I'm not loveless. I just, you know. Jeffy's leaving, everybody. It's going to turn into pure chaos around here. Yeah. But you can go on YouTube. Hasbro has a YouTube channel, and you can just watch all their shit on YouTube all fucking day long. But now we have a streaming service. Hasbro Legends new broadcast and streaming service. A new linear Streaming channel bringing Hasbro's iconic franchises to over 70 million US homes. Part of the reason why I wanted to talk about this. You guys remember how Diaper Island likes to say, oh, that he's an X number of homes? This is why. This is that same bullshit. That's that bullshit. Oh, 70 million US homes. That's the same thing that Viper Island does, right? He's played in this many homes. Get the fuck out of here. With free ad-supported streaming and on-demand access via Get After It Media's platform. Okay. But if you have YouTube Premium and you just watch all their shit on YouTube, you can watch it with no ads. Launched in partnership between Hasbro Entertainment and Get After It Media, Hasbro Legends is a broadcast and streaming service designed to deliver classic and current content from Hasbro's vast IP portfolio. All the brands that they bought up. It will debut on Get After It Media's national broadcast network and be available over the air and on free ad-supported streaming services. Have any of you ever heard of Get After It Media? Like, I had to dig to find all this stuff. I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck I'm looking at. Gem and the Holograms is cooler than Cold Slither. Yes, any day of the week. I will take the Misfits over Cold Slither. I think the Misfits would beat the shit out of Cold Slither. Cold Slither sucks. Michael Charles Hill. I'm sorry, my dude. You're a nice guy, but Cold Slither's garbage. That is a perfect example of groupthink. Everybody thinking Cold Slither's the shit. When we were all kids, nobody gave a fuck about Cold Slither. Nobody. Get After It Media sounds like a XXX rated studio, right? Kind of does. Yes, the Misfits were hot. 100%. HoloNet says, I never even heard of that company. Exactly. Yeah. 100%. Lilith says, just watch G.I. Joe, Transformers, etc. will now disappear from YouTube. Maybe. It might. I don't know. Dreadnought says, geez, I'll jump right on this. It's not like I already own all the Joes and Transformers shit on physical media. Exactly. This is the same thing as the loyal subjects putting out Mask and everybody's like, yeah, Mask is so great. I fucking love Mask, blah, blah, blah. Well, if Mask is so great and you love Mask so much, why don't you already own the fucking toys? Why do you got to go get this fucking bullshit from the loyal subjects with all their QC issues and falling apart when you can have the original shit that was made better? Okay. Sure. I love the Sunbow animated G.I. Joe. I even have all the Deke. I even have all the Deke stuff. Why the fuck am I going to go watch it on your free ad-supported bullshit where I got to watch your ads? Get fucked. Get After It Media is a totally woke left-wing company for sure. You saying that because you know that, or you're just saying that? Inquiring minds want to know. Cold Slither were on for 5 minutes in one episode. Was it even 5 total minutes? I don't even think it was. Yeah. Mask old toys, don't buy that loyal subject stuff. No, if you loved Mask so much, you would have already fucking had it in your collection. And even if you didn't, go find it. Go to the mom and pop brick and mortar stores. Let's make toy stores great again. Go fucking buy the toys. Go find them. Go to cons. Go to toy shows. Pick them up. Jim Largo says, Member Berries. Remember when they put out the G.I. Joe sets with DVDs as part of the Build a Mass device? Chad remembers. Yeah, because I got them all. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Are they bragging about having jaundiced Mr. Clean? They probably are. Chad loves the Deke. I fucking do. No, I don't. I really don't. Hal Jordan says there's a category on Get After It Media site called Dracula Kung Fu Theater. Is that good or bad? I don't know if that's good or bad. Kind of sounds bad. Yeah, no, whatever. Man of action. See, I like this. I built my own goddamn mass device out of cardstock. That's how you do it. Yeah. And then they have another category called Morning Beats. Don't open that at work, kids. Nope, 100%. Well, they play the old toy commercials, though. Probably not. I don't think they own that. I mean, that's all Griffin Bacall shit anyway. For those of you who remember. Anywho, so Hasbro is going to have a new broadcast streaming service. I think it's just another way to ape money off of people. That's just me. Robert's Infinite Realm says streaming is dying anyway. So what is the thought on Hasbro's part? Money? Money, 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 money. Who do you trust? Hubba, hubba, hubba. Yeah. Dreadnought K6. I'm going to take to the high seas for the entire Hasbro animated library now just because fuck you, Hasbro. Hey, do what your rank can handle, right? You do you. We here at It's Chat Incorporated do not support piracy. However, you got to do what you got to do, right? Yeah, I don't. I'm not feeling it, but we did spend 2 hours looking at Canon Films characters in action figure form, talking about, oh, well, you can watch this movie here, you can watch this movie there, blah, blah, blah. It's free over here, it's not over there. So, I mean, whatever. Do what you want to do at the end of the day. Drew G says, I got all that on my Plex. I'm good. Hey, guys, did you see that Drew G's here? Drew G is here, ladies and gentlemen. Marvelous Mike. That is a very awesome picture, by the way. We were talking about Metal Gear Solid. I bought Operation Blackout at Walmart for $5. I should have bought a Twinkie or something else. Yeah, I mean, the cell shading's cool. There's a lot of good stuff going on in that game. But when you get down to the nuts and bolts, I said nuts. The gameplay's shit. It's shit. The enemy AI is shit. Your characters, like movements, everything, shit. Nothing's going to save that. Yep. Man, action 100%. Physical media is where it's at. Absolutely. James Lucas, will they shut down the continuous loop of Joe cartoons here on YouTube? That's kind of what we were talking about. What does that mean for all of Hasbro's YouTube channels? They don't get a lot of views either. Have you seen, like, they'll be streaming and it only has like a third of what I've got watching right now, and I'm like, really? Sunbow G.I. Joe cartoons only get like 30 something people watching. All right, whatever. So confirmed. Chad likes nuts. I like these nuts. Shut the fuck up. Venom, what are the odds we could get a continuation of the cartoon a la X-Men 97? Well, first of all, they would have to want to do it. I mean, they had Entertainment One for how long? They could have done it. They could have done new Joe cartoons. One thing I will give that fucking side-scrolling Joe beat 'em up is the intro to that game is friggin' awesome. The animated intro to that game is sick. If they wanted to make a new G.I. Joe cartoon or animated series or whatever, they could have done it already. Many times over. They have no freaking interest. None. So, Hal Jordan says, sorry, I forgot. I'm trying to earn back my wrench. I'll be good. Oh yeah, I gotta hold up. Can I do that? I can't do that on StreamYard. Wait one. You know what? We're gonna do two things real quick. Like I am going to open my stream on YouTube, so it's probably gonna fucking eat its own face. Had to mute it because that's one thing. I bet you I can make you a wrench from right. Where's the live chat? Okay, here we go. Hal Jordan. Put user in timeout. Oh, okay, we're not going to do that. Boop, boop. There you go, Hal. I just gave it back to you, my dude. You know what else we're going to do? We're going to do this. We're going to gift some channel memberships right fucking now. Let's see who got them. Once it catches up. Here we go. Jesse Newkirk. Them boys hunting them toys. Ted Hooper. Dallistons. Oh, and frickin' Suka. I thought Suka was a channel member. He's a moderator. Dang it, I didn't get one, says Drew G. You're already a channel member, dude. It doesn't work that way. Sorry. Anyway, Hal Jordan says, you're back with the cool kids. Don't abuse it. Cool, Jesse. Very cool. That's a beautiful dog, and welcome to the chat holes. Anyway, so we're just going to have to see how this unfolds with this get after it media frickin' streaming service bullshit. For those people who are all for it, that's cool. Me, I have no frickin' interest. De Nazareth 835. Hell yeah, dude. I'm gonna fucking fire this out for all you awesome people. Where did it go? I don't know, because my shit is full of nightmare fuel. Here you go.
Wolverines. Hell yeah.
Anybody miss the Bush Wookie? Yeah, we're going to end here in a minute. Yeah, I'm going to give you some Bush Wookie. The hell did it go? Hell yeah. It probably wasn't for the Bush Wookie. Anyway, so that's all we got. That's all we got with that bullshit. So we saw some really awesome figures from Bobby Vance at Lone Wolf Toys, Matt LeCroy of namesake Matt LeCroy's Toys. And they do a really awesome job making figures of these characters that we all grew up with. How many of us wanted to be a ninja when we were a kid, right? Because of Canon films like Revenge of the Ninja, American Ninja, shit like that. Shaped a lot of that stuff that we were into. What, Neo Obama? Yeah, I don't look. I just find it. James Lucas says if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a Bush Wookie. No, it's not a Chupacabra. Bush Wookie. I need to see more of that. You want to see it again? That's horrible, right? It's freaking horrible. Anyway, so like Snot Lips liked it. Look, I'm a man of the people. You know what I mean? We keep it real around these parts. So I just wanted to share those awesome figures based on fantastic characters from some pretty kick-ass movies that we don't get shit like that anymore. Canon Films, they poured every dollar onto the screen, gave us some great action films, rad characters, killer set pieces, things like that. So no, it is not AI. It is not. Sugarfoot's little sister. Chad, make sure you don't run into that on your upcoming drive to DFW. No, I won't. I won't. Oh, Lenny needs to make a Bush Wookie. Look, it is what it is. For those of you that get messages from me on Instagram, you know that's just the kind of shit that I show all day long. Like this shit.
Ay, mira, 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 mira.
Yeah. My whole feed is that stuff. Anyway, but I wanted to share those figures. I wanted to just talk about our love of awesome Canon films. And, you know, it was nice to change it up a little bit, you know, not bitch about all the fucking crazy leftists that are ruining our fucking hobbies. Going back to the 80s when it wasn't cool to be a fucking communist. And words like toxic masculinity didn't exist when it was still okay to be a man. And those of us who were kids back then that didn't have a fucking screw loose or, you know, low testosterone, we wanted to grow up and be the fucking men that we became because of rad shit. Snaggletooth Tyrone. Oh no, here's Tyrone. You know, it's a fucking...
Ah! Straight up, real player shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's Tyrone. Lone Wolf McQuade is the GOAT. I fucking love Lone Wolf McQuade. What did Lenny say, or as you were, what did Mr. Valla say about Lenny's departure? Go ask Mr. Valla. I do not play the telephone game. Go ask him yourself. I don't know. Straight up real player shit. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, right? It's that fucking fake ghetto energy. Anyway, we could play Nightmare Fuel bullshit clips all day long. But I want to thank you all for joining me. I don't know what we're going to talk about next week. I got some of that bullshit. So maybe talk about some of that bullshit. And again, be on the lookout for that Generally Vamp project to come back around. Not saying, just saying. I know some people. We'll see what happens. So, thank you all for being here. Remember, we've got to make toy collecting great again. Go visit a mom and pop brick and mortar store. And if you haven't heard, KB Toys is coming back in select markets or whatever. But if you live in one of those markets and you collect toys, go check them out. See what they got. Because it's not going to get better unless we make it better. If you just keep buying your bullshit from Hasbro QVC fucking streams, you're going to keep getting what you get. That dude looked like Jamie Kennedy on meth. I need some fucking Freddy Got Fingered or Daddy, would you like some sausage or the Chad. I don't know. Anyway, you're all awesome. And I'm going to see you out with a whole montage of the dumb fucks that we got to get out of our hobbies to make them great again. Thank you for being here. For those of you that just got gifted channel memberships, hell yeah. Everybody who sent a super chat, thank you very much. Anybody who sent any chat, I try to read them all because you're all freaking awesome. And next week, we might get back in the weeds on some bullshit. Have an awesome day. Yeah, have an awesome day. Where is it? I don't see it on my screen.
Gotcha, bitch.
They are retarded. They're 100% retarded. And yeah, I'm still fucking watching all of you. I'm going to see you out with this.
Canon Films presents an outstanding lineup of films for 1986 and beyond. Major filmmakers, major stars, major motion pictures.